Nature versus nurture debate. Nature. Innate and genetic influences. Early nativists, such as Descartes, argued that human characteristics are innate and that they are the result of heredity. The general figure of heritability of IQ is around zero point 0.5. The fact that it's not 100% suggests that genetics and the environment are both important factors in IQ. Nurture. Environmental influences and experiences prenatal and postnatal. Empiricists such as John Locke argued that the mind is a blank slate at birth, upon which experiences writes the behaviourist approach. Lena has identified different levels of the environment. Has identified different levels of the environment. So, defined in narrow prenatal terms, for example, the mother's physical and psychological state during the pregnancy, and also defined more generally through postnatal experiences, for example, the social conditions that the child grows in. The relative importance of nature and nurture. The nature-nurture debate is impossible to answer because environmental influence in a child's life begin as soon as it is conceived, or even sooner. Practically and theoretically, it makes little sense to try and separate nature and nurture. For example, twin studies, it's difficult to tell whether high concordance rates are more the result of shared genetics or shared upbringing. Interactionism. The focus of the debate is now on the relative contributions of each influence. For example, the interactionist approach to attachment sees the bond between infants and parents as a two-way street. The child's innate temperament influences how the parent behaves towards them. The parent's responses, in turn, affect the child's behaviour. Interactionism and mental illness, the diathesis stress model. The diathesis stress model suggests that mental disorders caused by biological vulnerability, diathesis, which is only expressed when coupled with an environmental trigger, a stressor. Interactionism, epigenetics, the third element. Epigenetics is a change in genetic activity without changing the genetic code. Lifestyle and events that we encounter, such as smoking, diet pollution, and poverty, leave epigenetic marks on our DNA. These marks tell our bodies which genes to ignore and which ones to use, and may influence the genetic code of our children. So, epigenetic introduces a third element into the nature-nurture debate: the life experience of previous generations. A3. One limitation is the confounding factor of unshared environments. Research that tries to tease out environmental influences is complicated by the fact that even siblings raised within the same family would not have identical upbringings. Individual differences mean varying life experiences, such as parental divorce, may have different meanings to each sibling. This explains why findings show that even MZ twins reared together don't show 100% concordance rates and can reduce the validity of the nature approach. A strength is gene-environment interactions explained by constructivism. People create their own nurture by actively selecting environments appropriate for their nature. This two-way interaction between nature and nurture is called constructivism. For example, a naturally aggressive child is more comfortable around similar children and chooses their environment accordingly, which affects their development. Researchers calls this niche picking and niche building. Constructivism shows it's impossible and illogical to separate nurture and nature influences on a child's behaviour, thus increasing the validity of the interactionist approach. Another strength is understanding that nature-nurture provides, in relation to other debates, a strong commitment to either nature or nurture position corresponds to a belief in hard determinism. The nativist perspective suggests anatomy is destiny, whilst empiricists argue that interaction with the environment is all. These equate to biological determinism and environmental determinism, showing how nature-nurture links to other debates. This increases the support of the usefulness of the nature-nurture debate as it can be used in other debates. A further strength is understanding the interaction may have real-world implications. Extreme beliefs in the influence of nature or nurture may have negative implications for how we view human behaviour. Nativists suggest that genes determine behaviour and characteristics, and this controversy has led to linking race to eugenics policy and advocating a model of society that manipulates its citizens. Recognizing that human behaviour is both nature and nurture has been a reasonable way to study and manage human behaviour, as well as avoid further controversy. This increases the appropriateness of the nature-nurture debate.